Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, House of Clarence Permaculture. For those who don't know me, my name's Sandra. Now today I have built a new garden outside, so I shall pop that up here now for you to watch. I don't think it turned out too bad. It is quite narrow because the covers that my mum bought me, they're 45 centimetres wide, so that's what I made the garden. And they're actually really quite nice. I'll show you one in a minute. I did put it out on a garden outside. I think I'm going to have to come out here tonight with a torch and have a look, because something ate a whole pot of dahlias and most of, throw dirt on the floor, and most of my other dahlias as well. Something has gotten into my garden bed here, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to come out here and find out who's eaten all my stuff, because they've actually eaten a cabbage up here as well. So no, I'm not happy about that. Okay, let me go and show you the cover that I got. So this is the cover. Obviously it's not wide enough to go into this garden, but it's good enough for me to put my broad beans in the back and probably my beetroot in front of those for the moment. Now it's 3 meters long. I've got the last two bits together there because the plum tree is in the way. But yeah, really impressed with those. I also got another set that I can just sort of put together and put my own mesh over the top. So that will go into that garden over there for when I put the, what are they, garlic and onions and things in there. But have a look at this. This is my my radishes. We had one, I tried one today. They're actually really nice. I'm not a huge radish fan, my mother is, which is why I've grown them, but I think I could get used to eating those. I did put in another lot on this side that are starting to come up, so I need to put something over these. Now, I did find these are actually wood shavings that I used for the bunny cage. That's all I had at the time. I didn't have any what's it called, pea straw or anything like that, so I threw those over the top, and they have just gone great guns. So they must like pine bark. Who knew? Okay, so after all that, I have decided to put my broad beans out because it's only going to get down to 14 degrees tonight, so I'm pretty sure that they can handle that. Now, I just watered and it's still as dry as a bone, so I'm going to have to put some water into the holes before I put each one in, because that's how bad this soil is that I got, which was actually the same one that I was thinking about reordering again, but yeah, this is annoying. Okay, let's put these big ones in first. Oh, look at that. Look at the root system on that already. Alright, so I'm just going to put the whole toilet roll in because there's no point in disturbing everything. Oh, sorry, just need to stand up and get it all in. Okay, so I'll put them all on the back. As you can see, get my arm out of the way, you'd probably be able to see. The netting on these just pushes straight over, which is, I guess, how they all go. But anyway, we did get these. My mum got these for me from Temu, and they were $18 each. So I've got 3 of them to go around, which is good. I haven't started work on the brassica garden yet. The brassica cage out the back. I can only kind of concentrate on one thing at a time at the moment. There we go. All right. Okay, so they're all in. These two don't look like that one's definitely not going to do anything. And this one looks like it's started, but then nothing happened. So I'm not going to worry about those two. So there we go. I'll give them a good water, and yeah, it's first autumn crops in for the first day of autumn tomorrow. So that's really good. I feel really good about getting something into the garden. I've been itching to get something in for a while now. Hopefully they're still there tomorrow morning. I don't have any of those pegs that you use to keep the netting down. They're on order. They just haven't arrived yet. I've kind of got everything in the wrong order, I suppose. Anyway, and I'm impatient, so I just wanted to get something in. So I might put some wood chip or something down the back there, or some pea straw, so that what are they called? Slugs don't get in there. Gosh, my brain is not working. It's been one of those days today where everything seems to go wrong. Okay, so having said that, if everything goes wrong, I'll get up tomorrow morning and there won't be any broad beans in the garden. So I shall keep you updated on that little bit. Alright, I shall chat later. Okay, so what I've decided to do is put pea straw all around the netting, hopefully to deter the slugs and snails from coming in, and hopefully that will work. Anything's worth a go. I think, because from memory they don't like to crawl onto stuff like that, so we'll see how we go. I'll keep you updated on that. Now, so before I finish up, I thought I would show you how I did the parsnips. So I put a big deep hole in, I sifted some compost and then stuffed that down the hole. Then I planted 3 seeds in each one and then covered them over with a fine thing of compost. I did forget to link the video that I learnt that from for carrots in last week's, so I'm going to try and remember to do it this week. Hey everyone, I thought I'd just catch up on what I've been doing today. I was going to record it, except Tony was using the mulcher, so it was really noisy. It's a very old mulcher we found for free on the side of the road. While it does work, it's not something you want to be using for a long period of time. Anyway, can you see it in here, just over there? I put in the garlic, some red onions and some shallots. It's probably way too early to be putting in a lot of this stuff. I don't know. A lot of the stuff that I watch is from overseas, and so my growing is different here. I haven't actually found anybody online doing videos who is in Canberra, so I'm just sort of winging it at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm potting up the last of my red onions into a bit bigger pots and keeping them in the greenhouse just in case they fail. I did notice when I was putting those ones out that the roots were actually quite long on a lot of them, so it's definitely time to pot those up. The shallots that I had left over and the garlic I had left over, I put into a styrofoam box next to me here. So I put a bit of netting over it, so we'll see how that goes. And I planted out the beetroot, and I put a few more shallots in over there underneath the cover as well. And as you can see, I covered, well, hopefully you can see I did cover that bed over there with netting. But yeah, if anybody knows of somebody doing this sort of thing in Canberra, they have a YouTube site, I'd love to know about it, because it'd be really nice to know what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing it wrong. But then, you know, if you don't try and fail, you never really learn, do you? You can watch so many other people do things, but you don't really know until you do it yourself, because everybody's climate's different, everything is different. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just potting all of these up. I still do have more shallots. I planted way too many shallots, so I probably need to pot those up as well. I potted up all those leeks and everything that were in the peat pots the other day, which I'm glad, because the roots were starting to spiral around the inside of the pot, so it was good that I did that. We did go on a slug hunt last night, and we did find lots of snails, and a massive slug must have been feeding very well in my garden. Anyway, they're in a jar in the bin. I feel really horrible doing that sort of thing, but needs must, I guess. I think the worst thing, I prefer to do that, I think, than standing on them. I hate the sound of snails being stood on. It's a real ick thing for me. I did go to Bunnings this morning. bought some more compost and some more manure. I really should buy shares in the place. So yeah, I better not go back and buy too much more from there anytime soon. We'll see what happens. But I do want to put in a drip system in the back garden there. I just don't seem to be able to get it to soak through. So after I've done this, I'm going to put the sprinkler on for a while, I think, because it's another hot day and we've still got another week. Well, more than a week probably. Our first frost date's not until mid-April, and it can be pretty hot up until then. I don't think I've done anything else that is interesting in the garden lately. I did whippersnip this morning, then my battery died, so I haven't done around the quail cage yet, and I haven't managed to get anything done on my brassica cage. Again, I need the battery because I've got all Ryobi stuff, so I have a articulated cutter saw thing. Is that what they're called? Yeah. That I need to use to cut up my pallets, so I keep draining it, doing all the other stuff before I can get to the pallets. So that will probably be tomorrow's job, depending. Eb's been really sick and I think I'm coming down with her lurgy, so we'll see how I go tomorrow. And on Monday my uni course module starts, so I do have Monday off from work, so that's good. I can just sit down and concentrate on doing some of the uni stuff. Maybe I got the first task is to do some research, so, and then the second is I'm doing undergraduate in fine art, so the second exercise is using reclaimed items to make a sculpture. I have something in mind that I want to do that I can use, not just containers and things like that. I can use some of the pallet parts, and I have a half woven weaving wall hanging inside, so I thought if I use that and some of the pallets and then sort of finish the art that way, I might do that. If you're interested in seeing any of that, just let me know. Actually, I might put down the bottom, I do have a Instagram for this channel, but I also have an Instagram for my art, if you're interested in seeing it. But yeah, I think that's probably all I've got at the moment. Sorry, I really should look at the camera more, but I'm just trying to get this done. It's another hot day here. I keep saying that, don't I? So, I also, I was going to leave it to the end of the thing, but I also want to thank the 4 subscribers that I have to my channel. It's 4 more than I thought I would ever have, so that was a real bonus. I'm really happy about that. We'll see where we go from here. It's just doing this for a bit of fun, I think. Not really take myself serious. I mean, do I look like I would take myself seriously? Seriously. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for now. So I shall chat later. Have a good day. Okay, so I think I might be almost done for the day. I just have to water here in the greenhouse. I've had the sprinkler going on most of the gardens, but I've just got to water these ones by hand around here because the mulcher is in the way. I'm thinking about making shorter format videos so that, I mean, I don't think they need to be really long, to be honest. So this is sort of my close off for this one. Sorry, fat everywhere, but I thought I'd show you something. Okay, if you remember, I got these blocks, and so I thought I'd try them out. So I put in chamomile, comfrey, kohlrabi and lemongrass. It might be a bit hard to see, but all my cells of chamomile came up. I do have a lemongrass coming up. I do have some kohlrabi, and I think I can see the comfrey sprouting. So yeah, it has worked so far. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to sort of plant them out into soil. I guess I just plant the whole block into the soil. I'll obviously wait a bit longer. I don't know what they're made of. They almost feel like fiberglass. So I don't know what it is, and I don't know whether I'd buy them again, but anyway, it's worked so far. I just thought that was interesting. I'll just pop that back in there. So I've potted up 10 of my baby spinach, and I had to actually put the rest out into that new garden that I made the other day, because I just had no room to pot up in here, and there are other seeds that I do want to start. I have no idea where I'm going to put any of this. I've got stuff coming up everywhere. So I really don't know what I'm going to do once it's all ready to go out. I do have a lot more room in there. I think I put out another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16 baby spinach. So I'm keeping some back in the greenhouse just in case everything fails, and I've probably already said that. I have a mind like a sieve, which is probably why it would be better for me to do shorter format videos so that I don't repeat myself constantly, because I don't edit it out. Everything else is growing really well. I'm going to have to find somewhere to put my kale. I mean, they're not massive. I mean, I don't know if that's normal, average, less growth than they should have at this time for the length of time they've been in from seed to now. I have no idea of timing, so that's something I have to learn. I forgot to plant out some of my beetroot, so I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put that at the moment, so I'll hang on to that. I think needs might be that I've got some of these, sorry, licking my lips, some of these bigger pots and some bit bigger ones around the that I've collected from Bunnings and things like that, so I may have to just put onions and shallots and things like that into these and just keep them well fertilised so that they can keep growing, because I just can't build the gardens fast enough and get enough soil. I think tomorrow, after I've done the quail, whipper snipped around the quail cage, I might get in here and measure it up to make the gardens to go in here. So I'm going to put it across the back and down to the edge of this stand here. So I'll have 2.5 sides of garden, so that will be good. I've just had to tie up some of my snow peas. Well, actually, I don't know if they're the snow peas. Some of my peas, because they're starting to flop forward. They're doing really well. I'll take a photo of the garden and pop it in at the end there. I do have mushrooms growing in there as well. No idea if they're edible, so not going to risk it. I did put some old mushroom mycelium in the bottom of the garden that didn't work, so I just emptied the pot into there, the grow that I was using, but it was oyster mushrooms, and these aren't oyster mushrooms, so I'm not going to eat them because I know nothing about poisonous mushrooms. I gotta still put my arch up. I was going to grow climbing roses over it because I reckon that would look really nice. However, I'm wondering whether to grow a food product over it, so a fruit or something like that. I was thinking kiwi fruit. I would have to buy a male and a female, obviously. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with it, but you know, if you have any suggestions. I would love roses, but I really think that a climbing fruit or something would be probably better. Yeah, so let me know if you have any ideas what I could probably put over that, or I might put a clematis over it. Really like clematis, they have some beautiful ones. I will have to put my 3 dahlias that have survived the slug attack into bigger pots, I think. Maybe I'll do that later when it gets a bit cooler out here. It's what, 3:45, and it's 41 degrees here in the greenhouse at the moment. Oh, that's a really cool breeze. It's really nice when you've watered because it actually cools everything down, so that's really nice. I have watered like 4 times in here today. I haven't saturated, I just get the watering can and just sort of go around everything and make sure, oh, I feel like I'm getting bitten, make sure everything is not drying out, but I don't saturate it. But I did, I potted up something, oh that's right, when I was doing the beetroots, when I was putting them in the garden, so only the top half was wet, the bottom half was as dry as a bone. So I'm not over watering, probably not watering enough to be honest. So we'll see how we go with that. And these are pretty pathetic. This rocket has been in this pot for months, and that's as big as it's got. And I think that's because I have just used a seed starting compost, and there's nothing in it. There's no nutrients, nothing in it. So I might prick those out and put them into something that's got some fertiliser in it and see whether they get going or not. I've lost most of my heirloom lettuce through slug attack. We did find some snails in here last night. The majority were outside, but I haven't weighed down the outside all the way around yet. So there are places that they can come through. So I really need to get onto that. I was going to build gardens right around it, but then I worry that if something happens to the cover, that I'm not going to be able to change it, and that I have to dig all the gardens up. So at the moment there's just a few better blocks on there holding it all down. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. If anybody has any suggestions of what they've done with theirs, let me know. I suppose I could just put soil around it and actually not plant in it. That could be a way to go. So yeah. But I think once I get the garden beds in around here, it could stop a lot of that issue with the snails. So fingers crossed. Anyway, so I'm going to sign off now, and I hope everybody is having a great weekend, or about to have a great weekend, depending on where you are in the world, because today for me it is Saturday. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I shall chat later. Happy gardening.